Hey, welcome to today's edition of the Gripe Session. One of the things that we want to talk about today, especially since baseball season is getting ready to kick off, is these baseball's new rules.
It's Gripe Session time with your host, George Wanaka.
It's about nothing.
Discussing everything from real estate, current events, a little bit of everything, and the annoying little things that just tick you off.
You can't handle the truth.
What? You didn't know?
Here's your host, George
Your
Wanaka.
ass better call somebody.
Hey everyone, welcome to today's edition of the Gripe Session, and we definitely appreciate you checking us out again. Obviously, you can download us off iTunes, Spotify, basically any place you can find podcasts everywhere, so we definitely appreciate the support. That being said, one of the things that we want to talk about today is baseball's new rules. But before we talk about baseball's new rules, one of the things I want to remind everybody is that, yes, I am in real estate, and listen, real estate is still going on, contrary to what people have been talking about this real estate market. So, in the event you have any questions whatsoever, investment, residential, commercial, anything, do me a favor, shoot me an email below, or here's my phone number. You can get me on my cell all the time, or hit me up on the social medias if you have any questions in regards to real estate, whether it be now, whether it be someplace, not in Staten Island, New York, where I'm currently home based. I have colleagues throughout the country that can help you in any way, shape, or form. Real estate is always one of the best investments that anybody could possibly make. So make sure you reach out to me. Let me know if you have any questions on that. And before that, let's get into it. Hey, so one of the things that baseball, as a lifelong baseball fan, as you can see behind me, I love baseball. I always have. It's America's pastime. It's one of the best things in the planet as far as I'm concerned. But there is such a groundswell in the game to try to make it more attractive to the younger generation. Now, while I understand about trying to make things more attractive to our youth, there's a couple of things that just don't make a lot of sense to me. Well, we're going to get right back to the Gripe Session podcast, but before we do, we got to have a word from our sponsors over here at bestguyever.com. Make sure you never forget an important date ever again. Never forget any important dates with your wife, your daughter, your sister, your mother, or your mother-in-law for that matter. We want you here to be the bestguyever.com. And by the way, bestguyever.com helps your local small businesses. So it is a win-win for you. Not only can you be the bestguyever.com for those people that love you, but you can also support your local small businesses because bestguyever.com only deals with local small businesses. That's right. So make sure you get to www.bestguyever.com and subscribe. And by the way, let them know that you found out from us from the Gripe Session podcast. And because you're coming from the Gripe Session, we were able to get you a little bit of a deal for them as well. What's that deal, you say? Well, once you register, put in Gripe Session in the promo code. That's Gripe Session. And you're going to get 1 year free subscription to be the best guy ever. That's right. 1 free subscription by putting in Gripe Session in your promo code, and you're going to get a year for free. You can't have it any better than that. So make sure you go check out bestguyever.com and let them know the Gripe Session pulled you in. And now, back to our local program. One thing that doesn't make a lot of sense is this pitch clock thing. Now, I get it. Games are really long at times, right? They just go on and on forever. But these are the best players in the world at what they do. Putting time constrictions on those people makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Would I want to watch a game that is a quick game or a slow game? Well, listen, I'd love to watch a quick game. Most of the time, if I'm watching a quick game, it means that it was a pitcher's duel, that the pitchers were going back and forth at each other. But the part about baseball that I love is the strategy behind things. You're taking strategy out of the game with pitch clocks, with the banning of the shift, with the new bigger bases. Now, people are going to say, well, the bigger bases, that's for injury purposes as well. Ladies and gentlemen, game has been around for over 100 years. It's one of the oldest games. There's a reason why it's called America's pastime. It doesn't need any changes. All it needs is that, guess what? 90 feet bases, maybe some uniformity in the parks, I will agree, should be different. Because some parks, somebody hits 50 home runs in a park that is, has a very short porch in right field. Yankees. So the numbers might be a little bit inflated there for that person, for a right-hand batter. But with that being said, there's nothing wrong with the game. You want to know what's wrong with the game? I'm going to tell you. Hey, we're just going to take a real quick break from the Grape Session. We're going to get right back to it, but we want to bring you another word from one of our sponsors here, which is SearchStattenIsland.com. Yes, one of the things that I do every single day is I'm a real estate practitioner. I am a licensed realtor. I am a appraiser. I'm also a mortgage broker. So why do you ask any of those questions? Well, quite frankly, because if you have any questions on real estate in any part of the country, all you have to do is reach out to me. Go to www.searchstattenisland.com or find me on the social media platforms. And there's a very good opportunity that I'll be able to help you regardless of whether or not if you're in New York where I'm home based, or if you're someplace out in, whether it be Utah or Texas or somebody out there, there's a very good chance that I will be able to help you regardless, because I have contacts throughout the country and I would be able to make sure my clients are always taken care of. So make sure you check out www.searchstattenisland.com. And now back to our program. What's wrong with the game is now what we're doing is people are not watching the game. They're going to a game, and in the stadium, you have all of these other things going on while the game's going on. Why? People are there to watch a game, not do all of this other stuff around the freaking game. That's the problem. People talk about the use of cell phones. Oh, everybody's on the phone at their game. Oh, okay, you're not going to change that. That's technology. But since they're on their phone, you're going to do the same thing and say, I'm going to give them more things to not pay attention to the game while they're at the game. Where does that make sense? If people want to change, make the game more exciting, and they want to do different things. I talked to Howard Johnson about this a long time ago on one of the previous podcasts. Go check it out if you haven't already. One of the things he talked about is the shift. If people want to beat the shift, very simple. Learn to hit the ball the other way. It's not quantum physics. You're the best players on the world. You can hit a ball the other way. The fact is that your metrics don't want you to do that because your big contracts come with home runs. But there's no need to change the rules of the game. There's no reason to ban a shift. You want to get rid of the shift? No problem. Beat it by hitting the ball the opposite way. Beat a reliever, okay? The cat and mouse that goes on between a pitcher and a catcher. That's all the best parts of baseball. And now you want to take it away and make it like what? A video game? That's not the baseball that I grew up with. That's not the baseball that's been around for 100 years. So, with that being said, I wanted to address the baseball's new rules before the start of the season. It's going to be very interesting on how all of this stuff works out. Hopefully, at some point, we're going to get a couple of players on here to talk about how those new rules are coming. So make sure you check out future editions of the Gripe Session. Most importantly, make sure you subscribe. If you're watching this or listening to this on Apple Podcasts, make sure you hit the subscribe button so at least anytime a new episode pops, you're going to get notified. Same thing on Spotify and all of the other podcast spots. Make sure you subscribe to it. And that being said, again, any questions you want to respond, please do so. And maybe one of the next episodes, I will put some of the responses right in here as well. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Thank you for taking part in the Gripe Session as always. And make sure you do something nice for somebody you wouldn't normally do. And we'll catch you on the next edition of the Gripe Session. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Gripe Session. Please follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.